There's a quiet truth about life that most people never notice. The more normal you try to be, the less you exist in people's minds. Not because you're not good enough, but because you stop being distinct. And in a world full of people trying to fit the same shape, standing out doesn't take effort. It takes honesty. Most people don't realize when it starts happening. It begins small. You say less of what you think. You copy what's popular without even questioning it. You start adjusting your personality depending on who's around you. Not because you're fake, but because you're trying to avoid standing out in the wrong way. And over time, those small adjustments add up until one day you realize you become very good at being acceptable, but not very good at being yourself. And here's the strange part. Almost everyone is doing this at the same time. So you end up with groups of people who all think they're different, but they're all following the same invisible rules. Same opinions, same jokes, same interests they're supposed to like. It creates an illusion of connection without actual depth. That's why some friendships feel weirdly empty even when you talk every day. You're not really connecting, you're just maintaining versions of yourself that are safe to show. And anything real gets filtered out before it can even be said. But if you look at people who actually get remembered, they usually break that pattern early. Not in a loud or forced way, just by refusing to completely erase what makes them different. They keep one or two things that don't match everyone else, a way of thinking, a random interest, a perspective that doesn't fit neatly into the group. And they don't apologize for it. And over time, that becomes their identity, not because they try to stand out, but because they stopped removing the parts of themselves that naturally stood out. Think about anything people value now. At one point, it didn't make sense to most people. Different ideas always look strange before they look obvious. Even something like YouTube itself didn't fit the standard idea of entertainment when it first started. Short, random videos uploaded by ordinary people with no production quality, no structure, no rules telling you what real media was supposed to look like. And yet it became one of the biggest platforms in the world. Because people aren't really drawn to perfection, they're drawn to possibility. And that applies to people too. The ones who get remembered aren't the ones who blended in perfectly. They're the ones who had something slightly unpredictable about them, something real, something that couldn't be copied exactly. Confidence gets misunderstood here. Most people think confidence is about being impressive, but real confidence is closer to indifference. Not caring if everyone understands you immediately. Not shrinking yourself to make others uncomfortable. Not asking for permission to exist as you are. That's what makes people pay attention, because it's rare. Here's something even more important. Opportunities don't compete for normal people. They compete for noticeable people. If nothing about you stands out, nothing about you gets remembered when it matters. Not because you lack value, but because you never gave anyone a reason to notice it. And the solution isn't to become extreme or fake. It's actually the opposite. It's subtraction. Stop hiding small parts of yourself just because they don't match the room. Stop adjusting your personality to stay socially safe. Stop filtering everything before it leaves your mouth. Those tiny moments are where your real personality disappears. And something interesting happens when you stop doing that. You don't become louder, you become clearer. People understand you faster. The right people gravitate towards you. And the wrong connections fade naturally. Not because you forced anything, but because you finally stopped editing yourself. So maybe the goal isn't to be different. Maybe the goal is just to stop becoming less of yourself every time you're around people. Because normal doesn't make you safe. It makes you forgettable. And in a world where everyone is trying to blend in, the most powerful thing you can be isn't louder, it's not more impressive, it's not even more confident in the way people usually think about it. It's simply this: unfiltered, unadjusted, and real. Because the version of you that tries to be normal will never be remembered. But the version of you that stops editing itself, that's the one people don't forget.